Sandy block. Nobody likes you.
Don't get too far. Mute my phone. eBay, stop yelling at me. I know I'm selling things. Fudge is YouTube. So many premieres. Takes me like 3 premieres. Go down like 3 things to find my live stream. Hey, Humberto. Let's ever go. Hey, Shin. Yeah, I figured I'd work on it a little bit tonight. Because tomorrow it's gonna be working on this dinosaur that's been here. I gotta double check what I'm doing to the Ceratosaurus. And I'm also hoping tonight before I go to bed to have the Ultra Kaiju pretty much set up for me to paint. Is the game plan. But real quick, I'm just trying to get all the random live stream stuff all set up, situated. Oh. I was like, why is it making me sad? I'm like, I just want YouTube can let you guys dictate how people get ads. It's not that important to me. Between that list, probably burgers. I'd say burgers. But anyways, listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. Ooh, Alfredo's pretty good too, though. I had today for lunch. I shared it on the Discord, but I had ads. Yeah, yes, we do have ads on this. But I had some loaded barbecue fries. So it was like an entire container of French fries topped with melted cheese, brisket, really good beef brisket. And I ate like half of it because it was like 5 pounds worth of food. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a SH Monsterarts Anguirus, and we are going to be modifying it to become a 1955 version. Oh, Arnez. Yeah, sadly, Arnez doesn't really get to be in the live streams too much. Oh, yeah, the Anguirus is dope. I'm just afraid currently I got to try to plow through some commissions so I can definitely make sure to afford Legion when it shows up, probably at the end of the month, end of next month. Steve needs some moonies. So we're going to try to crank through some commissions as fast as humanly possible. Not like I haven't been trying, but it's just like between, like, I finally got some medicine for my side, so hopefully that helps alleviate some issues I've been having. Plus, trying to relegate more work to doing things. Oh, yeah, we need a good 55. 55 is my favorite Anguirus, personally. So first and foremost, what we need to do is we have the Bandai vinyl here because we're going to take the back shell off of this and impose it onto the Anguirus because, as you can see, 55 is very symmetrical. So it's uniform lines. Yeah, it's one of those, like, the only thing that sucks about going through, because I'm getting mine through Entertainment Earth, which, again, if you want to help support the channel, link in the description, buy some stuff from Entertainment Earth. But they did free shipping and stuff, and I also did have to pay a down payment at the time, which was nice, but now I'm in, like, the rush to make sure I got money, which I should. As long as it doesn't show up before next paycheck, I'll be fine. If it shows up sometime before next paycheck, probably going to have some issues. I feel we are that we are very far away from us getting a 55 Anguirus. Especially since they already gave us this one. Like, we haven't even got the Godzilla yet. And I don't think there's Mecha Godzilla is the only one. I think that they gave us the Kaiju before the Godzilla, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there's some of the Heisei monsters, like, technically we didn't get some of the Godzilla suits that coincide with said figure, but like all the Heisei Godzilla sort of work. It's just if you want to be nitpicky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this heat gun, heat up the sides here, cut into it, and then I'll do the same for the other side just to make my life a little bit easier when trying to chop this thing off. The only part that's going to be a bit of a pain is the back spikes are attached to the body. Yep, he good. I do it on the low setting just to make sure I don't melt things. For this kind of thing, it's not usually that bad. You can also use a hairdryer if you really wanted to be safe. I gotta try to be careful because I'd like to be a little extra underneath the plate back here. Oh god, there's something hard there. Cool. Oh, it's where the figure connects. A little extra pressure. There we go. Yank the limbs off, actually. I think I can work with it. I'm probably going to have to shape them a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go. Whoop. One thing you got to worry about using an X-Acto blade with this stuff is sometimes when you're trying to twist it, it'll sometimes loosen the blade. Poor Bandai vinyl. It's fine. It deserves this. I'm not 100% what it did, but it deserves it nonetheless. Okay, now we're going to go around the front side. Always make sure when you're cutting with the X-Acto blade not to cut towards skin. So you'll sort of see I'm kind of cutting away from myself. That's the proper way to do it. Sometimes you can't really get around it, but want to do your best. Yeah, so I got to take the... Am I just using these hands? Is that what we're doing? Like just kidnapping the joint? Okay, just double checking. Ugh. This connecting piece is the bane of my existence. There we go. There. That shell is almost free. But underneath the nail here. Oh, great. All right. Just gonna, let's see, maybe brute force this. I don't think I can. That piece off. So now we got our Anguirus shell. I'm just going to kind of try to whittle it a little bit. Just to remove some of this excess vinyl. I should have replaced the blade before I started this whole little shindig, but it's still cutting pretty well. But I've been using this blade for not a minute now. Hey, Jeremy. Little by little. Sorry if it gets a little quiet. I'm just trying to make sure I'm careful with my cutting so I don't cut myself. All right, now for the fun one. These back spiky bits. I'm going to try my best to kind of go at an angle and just slice into it. Kind of like that. Sure, I'm poking through is not going to be where any piece of my hand is. The other part that's a little sketchy with this too is because I removed a lot of vinyl, so this likes to flex. So that's another thing to be very wary of while you're doing this. Uh-oh. Somebody wants to come downstairs and see Daddy? Yeah, this last piece is going to be a bit of a challenge because it wants to bend. Let's try to cut. Try not to apply too much pressure. Yeah, warranty. Hopefully, I'll be doing a little bit better because it's been happening for years, but I have really bad muscle spasms on my side. And I was taking some medication for it a bit ago, and it kind of went away, and I re-aggravated it. And for about the past couple weeks, it's just been rough. So I finally got into the doctor, and they got me on some stuff to hopefully calm it down. I always seem to have a lot of problems. It's like I got the hernia in my stomach. I got that. Back's fudged. I got it fudged up. I forget the term, but it's got like a bend in my spine. Ah, the spine's cut out, anyways. Just kind of like the rest of it, just whittling it a little bit. So the only thing that's annoying is it's gonna want to bend quite a bit, so it's got to be again a little careful not to get too overzealous and flick it. Just take your time. Try my best to try to cut it to make it seem like they're still spiky. Okay, good to know. I was kind of the way I was looking at it a little bit, and it seemed like that was the case. Because it looks like it's just literally pretty much like a belt that the spine's glued to. Yeah. Spikes off. So this used to be a magnet? Is that what this was? A little Shelly boy here. I think this one I'm going to try to sand it to be sort of the shape of the OG head. So what I'd like to do is see if I can reuse that joint. So I got some extra joints hanging out around here, and I think it might be about the same size. Oh, it's a little big. Is that one? Ooh, well, it's a little loose, but I could tighten that to fit on a little better. We have the technology. Okay, so the only thing that sucks is this thing's hard as a rock. So I don't know how hard that ink that thing is. Oh, do, 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 do. There's that piece. Not that ain't it. Oh, there it is. I was like, I literally have a saw blade bit that I'd like to use. Where's the top? I do agree. It does look good. My only conundrum right now is more the jaw than anything. Because I'd like to kind of replicate what they're doing with that. So I gotta see if I can. Hopefully, I can heat it up and just pop it off, and then just sand that out a little bit to be able to fit the joint in there. Then just make them open and close. Let's see. I think I saw a screwdriver or something. What did I just do? Don't mind me just breaking things while it's off camera. Oh, I actually want the other one. All right. Well, I think I'm done with the drilling bit for a second. Hold up. It's gonna be piles of things everywhere. We need the big open one. So my plan is to work on Anguirus till about 8 o'clock, and then I gotta work on the kaiju for a few. Hopefully this thing's got enough torque, because I'm not confident. Also, I had some glasses hanging out here. Not seeing them right now. Hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings a little bit. All right. Hopefully, always wear glasses. Currently not gonna. The power. Yeah, I always really liked the designs. I thought they were like almost because of like how rushed they look, they seem way more creepy than any of the other Godzillas to me. And I almost kind of dig that. Like like the face on Anguirus, especially this one, just like I found it kind of almost unsettling when I was younger, which made him cool. So I need about right there taken off. Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid with this thing. Okay, well, we're gonna plug it because I don't feel like accidentally turning it on while trying to take it off. Because that would be a bad time. I'm gonna try using a smaller bit. See if that helps any. So pretty much just gotta get it enough to where I can hopefully just pop it off and sand it. Oh, that's what purple I have glasses on. Oh, it's blasting me in my face. We're on Anguirus. All right. There we go. All right. Save verse. Pop this off so I can take this off without having to worry about it turning on. Take a sanding piece. So it might be a bit too much. Nah, it's fine. Hopefully, it's about the right size. So now I just got to kind of bore out the head a little bit. Which I will say is probably the harder part for what I'm about to do, because, like I said, my good one, the battery's kind of dying on it, so I got to get a new battery for it. And this one's not super strong. It'll get the job done. It just takes a little longer. Oh, one with the split. Split shell be kind of sweet. Oh, I can't solve a bread. What a coincidence. So is mine. I should have enough room to work with in here. So, like I said, my goal is for that to sit in here. Hey, acid. Yep, it's commission. So now I see. Little joint fits in there. Rah! It's loose, but that's good. Next conundrum is it's still a little too wide. So I gotta sand around. Not better. Oh, the Shogador? Shogador is pretty sweet. Currently the only issue I see is that I think it looks about the right size, but the neck is like too droopy. If you can see here, so I gotta try to sand it a little bit to make it look more natural. But it seems to line up pretty well. Anything, it's probably a smidge smaller, but in terms of size, it's pretty close. If you adjust the joint in here, if it looks good. If anything, it probably needs to be expanded on the neck needs to be a little bit more rounded. I might be able to take some. Honestly, I might be able to steal some skin off this and make it look a little thicker, like right around the. Actually, I'm kind of curious now about that. Hold up. Actually, oh, here. Be gone. Yeah, there's a Mega King. It's not out yet, but I think you can get it for pre-order. Which, if you guys are interested, there's a link in the description for CalcusToys.com. You save 6% off your order code SteveCalcus checkout. My go-to place for Hayas, especially if you want them sooner than later. If you don't mind waiting, Entertainment Earth is another good option. You don't have to worry about your pre-order getting canceled through them, which is great. Unlike Amazon. For science. Can I cheat? Do what I want. Yeah, we'll say, like, if you order through Calcus, it looks overpriced, but they incorporate shipping into the cost. Well, also the new prices for Haya currently are $75 because of the tariff situation right now.
So warm and squishy now.
Oh, my idea is almost good. Because it almost solves a problem. The issue is it's a little big. Calcus, it's a third party store from China. They do a lot of Chinese imports, so it's like Haya, Joy Toys. They do Monsterarts. I wouldn't recommend them quite for Monsterarts. Monsterarts, I would say you're better off probably getting through Entertainment Earth, especially if you want free shipping. But for like Calcus and what, or not for Haya figures and whatnot, they're a great company to be able to get stuff a little earlier. And the stuff isn't too much more expensive. And currently, they have a stateside warehouse too, so you don't have to worry about the tariffs as much with that one, at least right now. So I really want this to kind of fit into here, but I don't think I got a good way of doing that because it's just too big. Oh, you know what? Actually, what if I do this? And it's about the same size. Glue that together and see if that works for me. Oh, I got my fancy spray. Then insert that into there. Oh, no, I made it too big, or not big enough. So I needed that, but I needed to go in that far, but still have same width. Kind of like this, but backwards, almost. I haven't tried Toy Jojo personally, but I've heard good things. Yeah, Space Godzilla, you're definitely going to be stuck with probably doing like eBay. Okay, so I need this opening to stay on the front, but I gotta try shrink the back to be about that size. So maybe if I just cut it at an angle. A little bit at a time. Oop. That didn't stay. No. Yeah, let's sand that. Oh, that might have did it. Oh, where's it? Oh, yeah. It went this way. It is a quiet stream. Kind of focused up a little bit here. Needs some background music. One of these days I probably should toss them on. Because right now I'm just trying to reshape this just a little bit. Because currently it's working kind of how I wanted it to, but I need to make it a little smaller. And my blade's getting super dull. There we go. It's gold. Shin Godzilla. I like my Shin Godzilla bass little girl. Eventually, I'll probably do something a little bit like a little more unique, but I still like the concept. Going to be fun. What I should do is do like Zilla trying to pretend to be like the Japanese Godzilla so people will like him. This also tends to happen when working on customs like this, where I get like an idea and I spend more time on the idea than I probably should. But I really want it to work. So hopefully now that should sort of sit in there, which will expand that out a little bit. And got the Anguirus head should look in. Like, oh, I think I can commit to gluing that in, so. So some super glue there. I'm gonna take some accelerant, glue it to the spray the piece, so when I push this in, it'll set pretty quick. I have a good one, Essie. Okay, I definitely would feel it clicking in. Okay, sand this out a little more. Good times. HS1. Ugh, not enough vinyl there, so it likes to catch. There. Set that back inside. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work the way I want it. I think what I'm probably going to do is I might just take a little bit of epoxy putty and just go around the side here and just flesh it out a little bit. Next, I want to expand that out a little bit. Which I don't think I have any powder down here, do I? I got a little bit. Okay. That'll work. Just want to get the joint on the head a little tighter. So I'm just going to take a little bit of super glue on a brush, brush it onto the joint, and then with the second one, apply a little bit of powder just to give it some substance. And repeat process, a little bit of glue, a little bit of powder. With some accelerant. And hopefully that gives that a little bit more thickness to it. Still not quite what we're looking for. It's getting there. Just not as fast as I'd like to. It's also breaking up the joint, so I think it's a little too smooth. So the rest of that, so I'll be working on getting the head more on tomorrow. We got it sized though. Real quick. I'd like to get this on before we get off. No, this is the Monsterarts. Monsterarts and Bandai vinyls. Because on the Godzilla currently no. Not saying we might not, but not at the moment. Oh, it's got a ball joint. I attached the ball joint into it. I was thinking of, because my initial gut was just to rip out the joint that was in the head originally, but we're going to be using this one for battle damage, so I can't do that. So I have to give it a new joint, and the closest fit I have is this one. But it's a little too thin. Yeah, what I probably could do is actually just glue the inside of the joint. Like so. And just not the easiest thing to do. Just get in there. Give it a sec. There you go. Now it's not wiggly. Arr. Okay, then the back strap. I probably should use the other spike as a reference point. Because it looks like it's attached right around here. But right around here, I mean there. Slice that part off. Try to carve this out just a little bit more. So I sort of want a smooth-ish area. Try to glue that onto. There we go. And this part, I also need to try to get off. Like I said, always try to cut away from yourself, and also try to cut in a direction that's not towards any skin. But need to remove that section just to make it easier to attach. So again, this is upwards, so we need to glue it right around there. Actually, I'm going to heat this up a little bit to make it a little more malleable. Then lather this up with glue. Spritz that, and then that way, right along there. Hey, H1. Now we make sure I'm not crooked. Looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty straight. Up a little more. There we go. Oh, I got a lot of super glue on my finger. Like, why is my finger kind of tight? Go. Just dripped a ton of it on top. It's custom. Yeah. Hells yeah. Okay. The other thing, we got to take the spikes off the limbs. Right, and then we're swapping the footies out. So let's go straight down for the footies. Plan. Didn't want that to happen. Come on, get out of there. Don't make me get the pliers. Well, not what I wanted to happen, but I guess that kind of works. So I was just going to cut the hand off and just reuse this part. It doesn't want to give me the fudging ball joint out of here. Because honestly, I was thinking of just taking the fingers off and then redoing these over the fingers. Like just going finger for fingers. One thing I do got to make sure I'm doing is using the corresponding hands for the right ones. Which I think like I said, we're gonna save this for another stream. So we got the hands at least off. Anguirus is gonna go back in his box for now, but solid progress. We're still gonna have to do the jaw. Which actually, while I got the heat gun here, I'm gonna try to pop it off now. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, it's so close. Ugh, there we go. Joe has been successfully removed. Because the only thing I got to do is I just got to sand this back a little bit so I can put the joint in and then it can go all the way back. I just took out his jaw. Because we're going to make it posable. So the jaw will be able to go open and close. But that'll more than likely be tomorrow. Make sure I got all the parts that I need. Appreciate it, crazy. I want to put these back in there, but I want to make sure I don't lose parts. So that's good. We need an Anguirus head. Backfoot was here because backfoot reasons. Okay. I'm leaving the tail alone, right? Like, you don't want, because I know, at least based off this one, it doesn't have some of the spikes on the tail, but I think that's wrong on top of my head. I have joints from, they're like extra model kit joints. Plus, Crazy Red Emu in the chat sent his own joints too to use. So I'm probably going to end up just using one of those. So it'll be able to bend forward and back. But if I do the ball joint, I'm going to have to like sand out enough section to fit it in. But what I like to do is, this is the other guy action figure I've been working on. And I've been having a nightmare of a time trying to hide this joint in its stomach. And I honestly think I've been kind of going at it the wrong way, where I need to have this go into the tummy a little bit instead of trying to go up into the stomach. I think is where a lot of my issues are stemming from this guy. I'm actually going to remove that. So I need to sand this out, stuff this a bit, and then go around with some epoxy putty and sculpt it a little bit. If you're looking for tips, the best thing to do is just to watch some of the earlier video, like do a bunch of live streams working on these guys. So if you want to see kind of my process of how doing joints and like areas to pay attention to cut is the best way to go about it, because it's definitely a bit of a process. Also, any video that you see like a completed one of these, I go over like everything that at least I try to talk through it. But the live streams are definitely the best place to go just to see me working on the things. Didn't Playmates do some show ones when they did when they were doing the generic figures for a second? I know they may have been all newer now that you mention it. I think they did a 54. Yeah, because they did oh, what the heck? There was Rodan. They did a Rodan that I didn't mind. But my nightmare scenario is I kind of need to sand that or see if I can maybe break it out. Because the fun thing we're doing these is sometimes when you do something, you do it like you did it before, and then it doesn't work on the particular figure. Okay, this will work, thankfully. So I'm going to pop out the old epoxy out of the stomach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the stomach to hide that. And I'd like to redo like a little bit of the clay just to sink it down a little bit more and then have this go into the stomach. So I'm just going to stuff this again with some epoxy, but I'm going to try to dip it in a little bit instead of going up. And I'll let that cure, and then tomorrow I can do what I wanted to do today, which is do the top section going into it, and then I'm done. We do need more Orga figures. Especially a posable one. Like, just like one solid posable one between like higher Monsterarts. That'd be cool. Okay, no, I mean watching one of our live streams. Like the live streams that we work on. Well, I work on, sorry. If you want to see more on the whole process of doing this stuff. I probably don't need that much. Actually, I don't really need much for what I'm working on today. I did see the Monster X, which is cool. We kind of knew it was coming, but I do like it. Yeah, personally, I would still rather have a Monsterarts one. At least as of this point in my life. Well, I still like the Hayas. I still think Monsterarts does a little bit of a better job with the Toho license. Specifically. But speaking of, the Monster X does look pretty freaking sick. And if there was a Toho Godzilla figure that I wasn't the biggest fan of, it's definitely that one. So if Haya can knock that one out of the park, it'd be cool. I'd be down for it. Because both the Final Wars figures were a little bit lackluster. The Gigan was sweet, though. But the Godzilla, I think the face could have been a little better, and then it's not bad, but it could be better. Mainly the teeth. I think its biggest problem was the teeth. They're generally pretty normal, but the thing you also got to take into consideration is one, they're mass-produced figures. They have way more joints than the Haya figures in particular. I need to actually, NECA, I thought the joints were a little too tight on a lot of them. Because the NECA ones they're probably the most brittle ones out of the bunch. But usually with Monsterarts, I don't usually have too many issues with the joints, but because there's more joints, there's more of a chance to have a loose joint. And then if you're playing around with them a lot, they're going to loosen over time no matter what you do. Haya's in that same category where, if anything, I usually get too tight of joints and I have problems where I'm worried about breaking stuff. Appreciate that, Shin. Glad to have you around. Okay, so I'm just going to try to stuff a little bit of this into the joint. And all I'm really trying to do is cram this in here, and then just to kind of try to hide the belt buckle. And to fill in the crevice here. Generally speaking, no. Well, okay, sorry. Depends how hard you're shaking it, because they can. They keep they generally can keep a pose. I don't think you'll really have a problem with a Monsterarts having posing issues. You might need a stand for a couple of them. The Monster X is probably the big culprit of that. Is where they don't provide a stand, so unless you're balancing it using the tail, it doesn't like to stay upright because of how top heavy it is. It's like that. What the 2019 Ghidorah is also a big stand culprit. Or if you don't use the stand, that thing is essentially a statue. And even with the stand, it's sort of a statue. Yeah, the 91 Monsterarts is good. It's a really good figure. But like I mentioned, what I'm doing is I'm just stuffing the cavity in here just to try to keep it from squirming around, so the vinyl over top of the figure isn't loose. But I gotta try to make enough of an indent so when I go to sculpt this piece tomorrow, it'll go into this crevice when posing. What was favorite Ghidorah design? Personally, I've always really liked Grand Ghidorah from the third Mothra movie. Not even close to my favorite giant monster movie of all time, but I still think the Ghidorah is the sweetest one. Honestly, all the Mothra ones are really good, like Cretaceous Ghidorah and Grand Ghidorah, and even Death Ghidorah from the first one. It's a really cool design. Okay. Actually, I think I should use this water. It's not like it really needs to be clean to do what I'm doing. Hey, to be fair, if you only got one Monsterarts figure, the Rebirth one's one of the best ones. Like, just that Burning Godzilla design in general is really good, or just a really good figure. Which is also why it's been, like, re-released into the ground, because they know it. Okay, so as long as everything goes according to plan and this doesn't break on me. So that's the current issue I've been having with this body is the way they designed it to be able to rotate. It's not a very good flex. It wants to flex. And that flexing has been the bane of my existence. So my hope is if I sculpt this and keep it turned, it'll stay shaped like that. Okay, so that's there. So like I said, as long as that hardens well, then I can add a little bit of epoxy around the waist, and then that'll hide the rest of the inner body, and then I'm pretty much done. Like I want to add a little bit to the toes, but I can worry about that tomorrow because honestly, I gotta start trying to get ready for bed. Which means we're probably gonna call it good on the stream here. Honestly, if you want to get a -1 and you don't want to pay like a lot of money for it, the Super 7's honestly pretty good. I think it needs like if you don't mind painting stuff, and not even painting, just like go get some matte model clear coat from Hobby Lobby. Specifically the model stuff. Like there's I don't know if I have any sitting around here, but Mr. Hobby Matt's clear coat. And just spray it with that, and it makes it so much better. But yeah, no, it's a super solid figure. Anyways. Oh, actually, I brought one thing down. I didn't open it yet. Because my last import figure for a hot minute came in. We got the Elden Ring of Melina, Blade of Miquella. I would say the hardest boss from Elden Ring. And one of my favorites too. I hope they make more figures to go along with this, but I like your OC Steve. Yeah, super stoked for this. I'm actually gonna open it real quick just to look at it. So you guys get a little mini unboxing. Yeah, Elden Ring, one of my favorite games. It's been in a long time. The multiplayer one I haven't got to play too much of. But I will say that experience isn't quite for me, anyways. Like I'm a big single player dude. Oh, her cleavage cough off, and it's got wires. I say that, but the wires don't hold a thing. I was talking with my wife earlier because I was like, it'd be really cool to get her second form. Would be really sweet. One little negative. It's not going to show up too well on here. But there's like a little, I think it's plastic, but it looks kind of like there's like an extra little like paint scuff. Mighty cute. Okay, don't yank on that too much. Double jointed elbow. Because the one elbow, like this is a prosthetic for the arm. Oh, I was gonna say that's kind of weird. Trying to look. Oh, okay. So I'm sort of getting the design. It's just weird because wish I had better lighting here. But underneath the arm piece, you can see like she's got her scarlet rot and it's coming down into her arm, and then it's kind of in the chest area. But then she also has like the cloth goes over top of the shoulder, and then goes down the arm, so you can kind of still see, depending on how you pose it, you can still see like the skin on the arm. Because her legs here is also prosthetic. So it's like an ivory leg. And then you can see the rot taking over this leg. And a super sweet figure. Super lanky. She's also pretty tall for her figure arts. Like, usually a figure arts doesn't stand about as tall as like the Bandai vinyls, especially with added stuff. Oh, I like too. She comes with a clean skirt. That's pretty cool. So you got this one with like all the tassels, and then you got this one that's a little better for posing. Oh, interesting. So her sword is actually permanently attached to a hand. That's an odd choice. Again, because it's really thin. And it's not like you're gonna like she sheaths it or whatever, but maybe you want to put it in the other hand. So big. Oh, thanks, Godzilla fan. What do you mean second form? She has a second form. And she's like butt naked with giant butterfly wings. And she murders you with giant explosions of scarlet rot while still trying to stab you with his giant sword. Nah, I like this one quite a bit. Super dope. She's got some extra hands. There's a stand. It's not the craziest thing in terms of accessories. A little bit expensive too, if I'm going to be honest. But she's the problem. Like she started creeping up. Like the figures are already getting a little more expensive, and then now we got even bigger issues. But because I even imported this, so I saved a little bit. Thankfully, I got it here before they canceled was it $800 or less. It's officially gone now. So she showed up like right when it ended. So it's just like, get her to me, please. Yeah, because the rest of the figures are going to be pretty much getting from stateside, at least for a while, until things change. Hopefully sooner than later. Oh, I never really noticed. I always thought she had like boots on, but she actually has like little metal toes. She's barefoot. That's pretty cool. She actually would have been great. We were camping yesterday night, and there's a spot that I think would have been really cool to do photos with this thing that looks vaguely like it does in the video game. I could have brought Vike with me and done a couple of photos. I'm trying to think of the one place that I go for some dinosaur photos would have anything, but I don't think so. Maybe we do a full review of her. I'll have to drive back up there. Probably they sucks. It's like an hour drive. But I know, like, I can think of right off the top of my head, like, one spot that would be really good. But anyways, you can almost defeat those guys by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. Also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, like keep up the video channel, donate, greatly would appreciate it. More than likely, there'll probably be a video tomorrow. Probably, I felt that I don't want to do how-to videos. I think I had to do one. Well, the Stevie Custom Monstrosities is what we're calling them now. Yeah, a lot of people are going to bed. It's getting kind of late. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be going in it. Again, definitely appreciate it, Godzilla fan. But if you guys would like to pick up some figures, like Melina here, good place to get her is Entertainment Earth because you get free shipping. If you look and pick up some of the higher Godzillas, like the new Monster X, there's also a link for CowCustoys.com, my go-to for the highest. You can also use Entertainment Earth if you really wanted to. Either way, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Huh. Oh, yeah, no, for sure, Shen. I definitely appreciate you too. Appreciate everybody that's definitely stuck around with us. Do I got any more spiel? We got an Etsy. If you guys like to get a hold of me for commissions yourself, the Etsy's a really good option to get a hold of me. Also, my personal Instagram, I think, is usually in the description of these ones. Another really great place too. But anyways, I'll see you guys next one.